Give yourself all the time you need to arrive. I often like to visualize just dropping an anchor. So even though the water may be rocking you back and forth, life may be sometimes difficult, sometimes pleasurable. You drop an anchor. You just say, I'm going to stay here for a while, no matter what the weather is, no matter how choppy the waves might be. We come to the mat each time just to practice. And you might be here for fitness, or you might be here for, who knows why you're here, only you know that. But mainly we come here to just become better listeners, to become a little more attentive, and to connect our mind and body so that instead of our mind being thinking of one thing and our body be doing another, we bring them closer in towards each other. Essentially, we just try and be where we are. Otherwise, you'll miss your life. It'll just float on by. So just give yourselves a few moments to breathe. I like to just notice whether you're breathing in the throat or in the chest or in the belly. Remembering that every day our breath is different. So just notice what it is on this day. Maybe a little faster, a little slower. You might like to just focus on the next breath and just follow it all the way. And then sigh out. When we watch our breath in this way, it helps us move towards this idea. Instead of mind being the doer, mind is simply the watcher. You might like to invite that little mischievous grin to the corners of your face. If your mind is still busy, just tell yourself there's nowhere else I need to be right now, or a task that is calling me. If your mind tells you you're wrong, that there's many things that need to be achieved, well, just tell them it can wait. So you might take a moment just to scan through the body, notice where any little bits of tightness or tension reside. In today's Qigong practice, we're going to focus on our lower back because I woke up this morning and something didn't feel quite right. So we'll see if we can move our kidney and bladder energy through the back of the body. Get our water element moving. And we'll mostly do this through very simple twists and simple balances. We're going to do the forms for teacups and plate balancing, which is pretty much as it sounds, we're moving and following our hand, allowing our hand to guide our spine. Let's take our arms down by the side of the body, turning the palms forward. As our breath comes, lift up wide, high. And at the top of the breath, turn the palms and letting everything be heavy. When your breath comes, lift up again. And sigh out. And one more time. Take all the time you need to slowly come up to a standing position. Take your feet hip width apart and give yourself a moment to just find all four corners of the feet. You might like to just sway side to side, maybe back onto the heels, press into the toes. You might also like to roll onto the inside arch of both feet and then the outside arch, and just see if there's any tightness or tension in the ankles. Let's see if we can slowly float our heels off the floor. You might like to just hold onto a chair or the wall, but just take your heels maybe just a millimeter off the floor and then back down. Maybe a little higher if you feel steady. But no trying, no aspiration. Just let your body find its own balance. We're pressing now through our Yang Chen point, our kidney number 1, in English called the bubbling spring. Acupressure point for energy coming from the earth. Often we feel separate from the earth, but just for this moment, see if you can press down and feel into the connection. All right, when you're ready, we're going to take hands to hips. Just roll through the hips. You might open through the shoulders a little as well. Just roll them back. Just feeling any points of tightness or tension, maybe coming back the other direction. Let's take our arms down by the side of the body. We're going to just let them be heavy and knock against the body. You might like to start lifting just one heel, taking any pressure off your knee, maybe swinging a little further. Let the arms be heavy. Let the rotation of your spine allow the movement. And we'll slowly bring the arms back to the side. Let's take hands to the kidneys. We'll just rub either side. We'll take our arms all the way down towards the floor. Don't worry if you touch the floor or not. You might like to just press through the back of the legs. Let's take our arms around to the side. And then maybe over to the other side. Just let your head be heavy. And just letting gravity work its magic. Arms, head heavy, no pulling or pushing down to the floor or the toes. Let's meet back in the center. We're going to just peel our right arm up. You might like to take your hand to the tailbone. Just take the shoulder a little further back, just alternating side to side. If it feels good, you can take your arm up. Or you might just roll the shoulder back. Just explore. Doesn't matter how you look. By pressing through the feet, pressing through the back of the legs, and just rolling our shoulders back. And when you're ready, meet back in the center. Just slowly roll the head back up. Take your time. You might feel a little dizzy. And when we come up to stand, just roll the shoulders. So we're going to do a little bit of balance work, and today we'll just be opening through our hips. So you might like to use a chair or a wall for support. Just step one leg out, bend that knee. We'll shift our weight so our head is over that foot. Now you might like to hold on something or hold on to your hips. We'll lift our opposite knee up, step it behind, and then same again. Keep your weight focused over that foot. Knees should be pressing down. If you feel your knee wobbling a lot, just slow the movement down or make it a little smaller. You might like to change the direction, draw your knee back in. Main thing here is to keep focus under the feet, so the feet are heavy and deep rooted into the ground. Step back to the center. Let's take the left foot, bend the knee, press down through the toes, through the heel, shift your weight. It's the same movement, focusing all our attention on that front leg, finding the solid base. You might like to change direction, draw the hip back in. Just notice if you're holding tension in your jaw, in your teeth. You might like to just bring that cheeky grin back, softening the upper body, letting the shoulders be heavy. And we'll come back to the center. Let's shake it out. And we might just roll the shoulders one more time. Okay, so we're going to do 3 simple shapes to start getting energy moving through our kidneys, through our adrenals. This place on our body that holds our stress hormones. Adrenals are pretty much directly behind where your belly button is. If you want to trace your fingers around either side of your spine, they're just tiny little things, but cause us a lot of issues in terms of anxiety, in terms of constant mind chatter. So always good to show our body how to move away from this idea of constant mind chatter. Let's bring our attention back under the feet. First form we're going to learn. We'll just start by stacking our hands. Let your shoulders be heavy, your neck long, so you might tuck in your chin a little. Just feel that sense of head being stacked over shoulders, over hips, over heels. And just take a few breaths in and out. You might like to bring your attention to your abdominal breath in the belly, but if that feels elusive or feels like you can't quite get it, just bring your attention in between the palms in front of the body. So this form today, we're going to turn our palms 180 degrees. So take a breath in. Turn the palms over. As we sigh out, we're going to take our ball around to the side. Follow the fingers with your eyes, turning the spine, and go as far as you can go. Then we're going to inhale and sweep the front hand across the body, and then sigh out and turn the palms back to meet in our ball of energy in front of the body. So take a breath here. As we sigh out, we'll turn. Opposite side this time. Inhale, sweep the front hand in front. Sigh out as our palms come back together. Inhale, we're going to roll our ball. Sigh out. Take another inhale, roll the ball. This time we sigh out and we turn. Take a breath in, sweep the arm in front. Exhale, draw the hands in front of the body. Take a breath in. Sigh out, turn the body. So you shouldn't feel any pressure on your knees here. Turn a little less if you do. Inhale, sweep the hand in front. And we exhale, draw the hands in. So just see if you can keep moving side to side. As you feel your palms come back in towards each other, sink it down. You turn and twist on the out breath. On the in breath, we sweep the hand across and we sigh out. You might like to just bring all your attention under the feet. Feel that sense of heaviness and stillness. We're combining elements of our earth element forms and our water element. Earth element is a controlling element to water. You might think of this in the sense of a dam of earth stopping the flow of water. And at the end of your next cycle, just bring your palms down. You might like to rest them right on the center of gravity in the body. Maybe feeling your breath underneath the palms. Maybe as we arrive in stillness, we're back to that feeling of being where we are. Monkey mind might tell you, I'm always where I am. But of course, often we're thinking of one thing, doing the complete opposite. Our body might be present, but our mind is floating through the past or planning the future. So if you can manage a few breaths where you're entirely present, entirely here, just to express a moment in gratitude to yourself. Whenever we're planning, we're stealing moments from ourselves. All right, let's take our hands back to the back of the body. Press around those kidneys again. And we're going to keep our left hand there, and we're going to just use our right hand. So teacups is a simple form, but when you learn it on a video, it drives your left brain, right brain crazy. So I'm just going to break it down as slowly as I can first before all of our brains become a mush on the floor, trying to mirror or copy. So the first movement, we take our hand across the body. We're sighing out as far as it wants to go. So just take your hand across. Then we pause the breath as we sweep the hand forward, just like we're giving or just open to somebody. As we feel our hand come across, we're using our hand to turn the spine. So our eyes have to stay on the hand. As we feel our hand lift behind the body, we take a breath in. I know you're looking away from the screen. At this point, we turn our hand so our wrist does a full turn. And what we're trying to do is keep our palm up. And then we turn the wrist again, and our hand comes back in front of the body. So I'll do that again. So we're inhaling to lift up. We turn our wrists, our fingers come towards the body. And then we take away. The whole time our eyes are watching. And then we're sighing out as we come back across, and we're returning to where we started. So just have a few times where you just feel that flow. So it's a sigh out, a pause in the breath, an inhale, turning the fingers, keep your eyes on the hand, keep the palm face up, and then we slowly come across. Now there's something that happens in your mind where it says, I can't keep my palm face up the whole way. So just imagine you've got that cup of tea in your hand and your job is not to spill the tea. How do we do that? We have to turn our spine, and we have to do it in a way that we keep our balance, we keep our feet heavy to the floor. So let's have a little go at our teacups. And sometimes I turn around so you can look at my back and go the same way as me. But today, let's just see if we can nut it out. So maybe don't even look at the screen. I'll just give you a few verbal cues to start. And we'll do one side, and then after a few minutes, we'll swap to the other side. But what we're looking at doing here is having this feeling of kind of turning and flow through the lumbar spine, this part of our body. Chinese medicine is called our Ming Men. It's where it's believed we hold our essential energy, our Jing, the genes, the conditioning that we got from our parents, and all of our ancestors live within us and walk with us. So even though we might often disagree with our parents or our grandparents, all of their difficulties and struggles, hopes, dreams, all live within us in every step. So you're connecting with your ancestors, you're connecting with your history. All of our conditioning, all our habits come with us everywhere we go. And sometimes we need to just acknowledge and have gratitude for that. So we connect one hand to that part in our body. We're going to take a breath in. As we sigh out, sweep the hand across. Pause that breath. Bring the hand behind the body. rotate the wrist. And we're floating down and we're sighing out. If you feel in a jumble of confusion, that's okay. Just explore, just experiment. How will you move your cup of tea without spilling a drop? See if you can keep your feet so that your weight is balanced under both feet the whole way. Hips and knees protect each other, ankles. I don't recommend getting an actual cup of tea while you try this, but you're welcome to if you like. But maybe make it cold tea, not hot tea, just in case you pour it on your head. Most important thing is that the fingers are guiding the movement of the spine. So if you just move your hand and not your, or if your eyes don't look at your fingers and allow your spine to follow, you will probably have issues in your knees or your hips. So just notice, maybe eyes are looking elsewhere, they're not following the fingers. Maybe your eyes are just looking at your screen. You will not be able to do Qigong if you do it this way. Notice what's happening in your breath. Remembering that the point of every Qigong form is not to become good at Qigong, it's simply to become better at being ourselves. Not what we want to be, not what we have been. It's entirely in the moment, training our body to focus and concentrate with discipline and persistence. And whenever we practice, becomes an inclination of our mind for the rest of the day. So maybe you'll notice some other points of your day where you feel a little more focus, a little more presence. All right, let's take that hand around to the back. And you might notice, just take a moment to just settle. Maybe you notice that one side feels a little more open, a little more steady. We'll come straight to the other side. So now I've got my right hand on my lumbar spot. Same movement. Take a breath in. As we exhale, sweep the hand across. Inhale. Keep your eyes on the fingers. And you might notice that this side doesn't open quite as much as the other straight away. If you notice there's pain in the neck, again, it might be because you're not quite rolling the spine enough. Make the movement a little smaller. We all have different shaped shoulders, different shaped skeletons. Can you feel that sense of stillness in between the breaths? We're not just breathing in and then breathing out, we're allowing our body to glide in the space in between the breaths. Do one more. Leaving back in the center of our body. Take a moment to just notice this feeling, this deep twisting and back bending. Just notice how it makes you feel, flow of energy. If you bring your attention right under the bubbling spring point again, under the ball of the foot, you might notice a little deeper or wider connection of the feet to the earth. All right, we're going to do just one more form today, and this one is a kind of extension of teacups, and it's called plate balancing. And I guess it's kind of the same concept. And the concept is palms stay face up. And this one is quite a deep back bend, so just go as far back as works for your body. We'll take a breath together, breathing in. As we sigh out, we're going to take our elbows wide and turn our palms in towards the body. And then we're going to turn the fingers out, lean back, take the hands behind, and sigh out. So it doesn't matter how far you lean back. Make sure you keep your balance, obviously. Take a breath in, sighing out. As your palms come up, breathing in. And see if you can become aware of the hands in the periphery of the eyes. So your gaze stays at the front. And as you feel the palms come out to the side, you're aware of what's happening in the side, not just in front. And keep pressing through the feet. Feel that stable balance. This is a deep back bend. There's a lot going on, so take your time. Take a break whenever you need to. You'll probably start to notice that every muscle in your leg is engaged, just helping us keep our balance, keep our steadiness, no matter what happens. And we'll meet back in the center. Let's take a moment or two to sigh out. Noticing that flow of energy. You might like to just shake out arms, shake out legs, maybe wrists. Let's bring our hands back to the kidneys, just rub all around that area. And just like we did at the start, just slowly take your head down and let your upper body be heavy. You might like to ragdoll from side to side. Maybe slowly curling the spine up. Roll our shoulders. All right, let's bring the palms together. Last little bit of heat. Maybe making an intention for the week ahead. And let's draw our palms together and just acknowledge shared energy of practicing each day.